Cryptocurrency. Hi guys, and welcome to our channel. We like to bring content on finances your way, which will keep you updated with what's happening in the world, such that you do not miss a thing. If you are willing to be part of our family, then make sure to subscribe to our channel. We will be talking about cryptocurrency in this video, and let us get straight into it. Let us start with a few details first, and then we will discuss some of the hottest names out there. Cryptocurrency, or crypto for short, is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange wherein individual coin ownership records are stored in a ledger existing in a form of computerized database using strong cryptography to secure transaction records, to control the creation of additional coins, and to verify the transfer of coin ownership. It typically does not exist in a physical form, like paper money, and is typically not issued by a central authority. Cryptocurrencies typically use decentralized control as opposed to centralized digital currency and central banking systems. When a cryptocurrency is minted or created prior to issuance or issued by a single user, it is generally considered centralized. When implemented with decentralized control, each cryptocurrency works through distributed ledger technology, typically a blockchain, that serves as a public financial transaction database. Jan Lansky currently works at the Department of Computer Science and Mathematics, the University of Finance and Administration. Jan does research in cryptocurrencies, databases, and software engineering. According to Jan Lansky, a cryptocurrency is a system that meets 6 conditions. 1. The system does not require a central authority. Its state is maintained through distributed consensus. 2. The system keeps an overview of cryptocurrency units and their ownership. 3. The system defines whether new cryptocurrency units can be created. If new cryptocurrency units can be created, the system defines the circumstances of their origin and how to determine the ownership of these new units. 4. Ownership of cryptocurrency units can be proved exclusively cryptographically. 5. The system allows transactions to be performed in which ownership of the cryptographic units is changed. A transaction statement can only be issued by an entity providing the current ownership of these units. 6. If 2 different instructions for changing the ownership of the same cryptographic units are simultaneously entered, the system performs at most one of them. In March 2018, the word cryptocurrency was added to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Transaction fees. Transaction fees for cryptocurrency depend mainly on the supply of network capacity at the time, versus the demand from the currency holder for a faster transaction. The currency holder can choose a specific transaction fee, while network entities process transactions in order of highest offered fee to lowest. Cryptocurrency exchanges can simplify the process for currency holders by offering priority alternatives and thereby determine which fee will likely cause the transaction to be processed in the requested time. For Ether, transaction fees differ by computational complexity, bandwidth use, and storage need, while Bitcoin transaction fees differ by transaction size. Some cryptocurrencies have no transaction fees and instead rely on client-side proof of work as the transaction prioritization and anti-spam mechanism. Initial coin offerings. An initial coin offering, ICO, is a controversial means of raising funds for a new cryptocurrency venture. An ICO may be used by startups with the intention of avoiding regulation. However, securities regulators in many jurisdictions, including the US and Canada, have indicated that if a coin or token is an investment contract, e.g. under the Howey test, i.e., an investment of money with a reasonable expectation of profit, based significantly on the entrepreneurial or managerial efforts of others, it is a security and is subject to securities regulation. In an ICO campaign, a percentage of the cryptocurrency, usually in the form of tokens, is sold to early backers of the project in exchange for legal tender or other cryptocurrencies, often Bitcoin or Ether. According to PricewaterhouseCoopers, 4 of the 10 biggest proposed initial coin offerings have used Switzerland as a base, where they are frequently registered as non-profit foundations. The Swiss regulatory agency, FINMA, stated that it would take a balanced approach to ICO projects and would allow legitimate innovators to navigate the regulatory landscape and so launch their projects in a way consistent with national laws protecting investors and the integrity of the financial system. In response to numerous requests by industry representatives, a legislative ICO working group began to issue legal guidelines in 2018, which are intended to remove uncertainty from cryptocurrency offerings and to establish sustainable business practices. Blockchain. Blockchain seems complicated, and it definitely can be, but its core concept is really quite simple. A blockchain is a type of database. To be able to understand blockchain, it helps to first understand what a database actually is. A database is a collection of information that is stored electronically on a computer system. Information or data in databases is typically structured in data format to allow for easier searching and filtering for specific information. What is the difference between someone using a spreadsheet to store information rather than a database? Spreadsheets are designed for one person or a small group of people to store and access limited amounts of information. In contrast, a database is designed to house significantly larger amounts of information that can be accessed, filtered, and manipulated quickly and easily by any number of users at once. Large databases achieve this by housing data on servers that are made of powerful computers. These servers can sometimes be built using hundreds or thousands of computers in order to have the computational power and storage capacity necessary for many users to access the database simultaneously. While a spreadsheet or database may be accessible to any number of people, it is often owned by a business and managed by an appointed individual that has complete control over how it works and the data within it. One key difference between a typical database and a blockchain is the way the data is structured. A blockchain collects information together in groups known as blocks that hold sets of information. Blocks have certain storage capacities and, when filled, are chained onto the previously filled block, forming a chain of data known as the blockchain. All new information that follows that freshly added block is compiled into a newly formed block that will then also be added to the chain once filled. A database structures its data into tables, whereas a blockchain, like the name implies, structures its data into chunks, blocks, that are chained together. This makes it so that all blockchains are databases, but not all databases are blockchains. This system also inherently makes an irreversible timeline of data when implemented in a decentralized nature. When a block is filled, it is set in stone and becomes part of this timeline. Each block in the chain is given an exact timestamp when it is added to the chain. Blockchain security. Blockchain technology accounts for the issues of security and trust in several ways. First, new blocks are always stored linearly and chronologically. That is, they are always added to the end of the blockchain. If you take a look at Bitcoin's blockchain, you'll see that each block has a position on the chain called a height. As of November 2020, the block's height had reached 656,197 blocks so far. Key takeaway: blockchain is a specific type of database. It differs from a typical database in the way it stores information. Blockchains store data in blocks that are then chained together. As new data comes in, it is entered into a fresh block. Once the block is filled with data, it is chained onto the previous block, which makes the data chained together in chronological order. Different types of information can be stored on a blockchain, but the most common use so far has been a ledger for transactions. In Bitcoin's case, blockchain is used in a decentralized way so that no single person or group has control. Rather, all users collectively retain control. Decentralized blockchains are immutable, which means the data entered is irreversible. For Bitcoin, this means that transactions are permanently recorded and viewable to anyone. Types of cryptocurrency. Number 1. Bitcoin, BTC. One of the most commonly known currencies, Bitcoin is considered an original cryptocurrency. It was created in 2009 as an open-source software. The author of the white paper that established this digital currency was under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Working. Using blockchain technology, Bitcoin allows users to make transparent, peer-to-peer transactions. All users can view these transactions. However, they are secured through the algorithm within the blockchain. While everyone can see the transaction, only the owner of that Bitcoin can decrypt it with a private key that is given to each owner. Unlike a bank, there is no central authority figure in the Bitcoin. Bitcoin users control the sending and receiving of money, which allows for anonymous transactions to take place throughout the world. Number 2. Altcoins. Next, we have altcoins. Right now, there are more than 1,000 altcoins in existence. But don't let that number scare you. The majority of altcoins are just alternative versions of Bitcoin with minor changes. That's how they got the name altcoins. It's important to understand, though, that not all altcoins are just alternative versions of Bitcoin. There are some that are very, very different from Bitcoin and have a very different goal or purpose. Some altcoins use different algorithms for Bitcoin. For example, Factotum is an altcoin that uses POS, proof of stake. In POS, there are no miners. Instead, there are stakers. Stakes are people that verify transactions for rewards, just like miners. But instead of racing to verify a block before anyone else does, they are selected one by one to take their turn. This uses much less electricity because there aren't thousands of miners using their electricity to try and verify the same block. Instead, there is just one staker per block. Number 3. Tokens, for dApps. The third main type of cryptocurrency is a token, the same kind we've just been talking about. One out of the 3 main types of cryptocurrency, these are the ones I find the most interesting. Compared to the other 2 main types of cryptocurrency, they are completely unique in the fact that they do not have their own blockchain. They are used on dApps, decentralized applications. These are the apps I told you about that can be built on blockchains like Ethereum and NEO. The dApps are built to use smart contracts, which is why they use tokens. Their tokens don't have to represent a physical thing like electricity or a house, though. They can instead be used to purchase things on the dApp. Either that, or they can be used to get certain advantages, like discounted fees and voting fees. Number 4. Litecoin, LTC. Litecoin was launched in 2011 as an alternative to Bitcoin. Like other cryptocurrencies, Litecoin is an open-source global payment network that is completely decentralized, meaning there are no central authorities. What's the difference between Bitcoin and Litecoin? Here are a few differences between these digital currencies. Litecoin is believed to feature faster transaction times. The coin limit for Bitcoin is 21 million, and Litecoin is 84 million. They operate on different algorithms, Litecoin's being Script and Bitcoin's is SHA-256. Number 5. Ethereum, ETH. Created in 2015, Ethereum is a type of cryptocurrency that is an open-source platform based on blockchain technology. While tracking ownership of digital currency transactions, Ethereum blockchains also focus on running the programming code of any decentralized application, allowing it to be used by application developers to pay for transaction fees and services on the Ethereum network. Number 6. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is a type of digital currency that was created to improve certain features of Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash increased the size of the blocks, allowing more transactions to be processed faster. Number 7. Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic is a version of the Ethereum blockchain. It runs smart contracts on a similar decentralized platform. Smart contracts are applications that run exactly as programmed without any possibility of downtime, censorship, fraud, or third-party interference. Like Ethereum, it provides a value token called Classic Ether, which is used to pay users for products or services. Number 8. Zcash, ZEC. Zcash is a digital currency that was built on the original Bitcoin codebase. Conceived by scientists at MIT, Johns Hopkins, and other respected academic and scientific institutions, it was built on a decentralized blockchain. A core feature and differentiation of Zcash is an emphasis on privacy. While not a function available to investors on Equity Trust's platform, users can send and receive Zcash without disclosing the sender, receiver, or the amount transacted. Number 9. Stellar Lumen, XLM. Stellar Lumen is an intermediary currency that facilitates currency exchange. Stellar allows a user to send any currency they own to someone else in a different currency. Jed McCaleb founded the open source network Stellar and created the network's native currency in 2014. With this, we have come to the end of this video. We hope you gained some value from this one. If you liked the video, then do consider subscribing, and we will see you in the next one.